Greetings again, everyone. Well, last time we had talked about what I had gotten in my Marvel collection. This time, I think we'll go around the other way and talk about what DC stuff that I got recently. Now, mind you, some of this I've had for a little while. Others I got for Christmas this last year. So let's take a look at what we got this time on the Media Files. Welcome back. So, with, just kind of shopping around and whatnot this time, we've managed to find a lot of DC stuff that I did not have in my DC collection. Mainly I know that there were several of the DC animated movies and stuff that they've been just dishing out left and right because, as we all know, DC can't compete with Marvel, on the live action side. They've tried so many times, they're rebooting all the time, and they can't figure it out. One thing that they always seem to figure out are the animated films that they keep making and they keep bringing out, which a lot of them I think are a lot better than some of the live action movies that they have made. Why haven't those been made into movies? So, starting off, we have the latest release in the DC animated series. We have Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons. Yes, this one is basically about kind of like the future of what happens with the Justice League and how basically Batman and Superman's kids have kind of gone off to basically learn how to use their superpowers, and basically mayhem ensues with an alien force. But it's pretty cool that I managed to snag this with the slipcover. And, I even paid, I think it was like $3 for this on Blu-ray, which was just amazing. You have, digital copy code, which nobody's going to be able to get anyways, because it doesn't work. We have, disc art, which is, pretty much about your average, flimsy recyclable case, which not bad. Now granted, I haven't watched this yet, which, I hope it's really good. For $3, hey, why not, give it a try and see what there is. Up next, we have the third in the Green Lantern Corps series, which they have not made since Emerald Knights, which was way back, I think, in 2008. But this time, we don't feature John Howell. This time, we feature John Stewart in Green Lantern, Beware My Power. So, now this one I have not seen at all. I figured, hey, keep on continuing with them, because it looks like here with the spine that with what they're kind of doing with the newer movies is that they're kind of making like a scroll thing when you kind of go all the way across. It looks like a big picture type of thing. I'm like why bother? It's just hopefully this one is just as good as some of the others, because I really thought that Nathan Fillion did an awesome job as Hal Jordan in the other two movies that he did. I loved Jon Stewart back when he was in the Justice League series. I thought that was an awesome series, and I know I've got that somewhere hiding in my stash somewhere, but it's, like I said, most of my stuff is just kind of just basically behind the camera here, just all in boxes at the moment. So, up next, we have the latest edition in the Showcase Animated Shorts series. We have Constantine, the House of Mystery. Yeah, we have, this is, basically it sets up, or it kind of prevents from the Apocalypse War that was happening in the Justice League film. Now, some of these I have not seen, but I know a lot of them have continuity in them, and I'm really going to have to get on that because, a lot of these, I have not seen, and I know that there is, loads of story that's all kind of connected there, and, there's the discard, what have you. But yeah, this also shows, has 3 other shorts in it with Kamandi, The Last Boy on Earth, The Losers, and The Blue Beetle. which I know that they are releasing a movie of that eventually, but I've only heard the character a few times, but I know that there is a short trailer film out there. If you can find it, it actually, if you look look on YouTube, look up user Blinky500, and he has a really really cool Blue Beetle teaser trailer that he made as a concept for what he thought that the Blue Beetle movie would be, and it's actually pretty cool. So up next, we have in the latest of the Batman ones that they have, we have Batman: The Long Halloween, the Deluxe Edition. Yes. So with this one, this is basically them re-releasing the Long Halloween parts 1 and 2 and combining it together as they did with The Dark Knight Returns a few years ago. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I watched this thing and, I was just amazed of how great the animation was. I mean, The Long Halloween is one of the best, Batman stories, ever written. I mean, even the comic book is just so richly detailed. It's probably I would say probably my third favorite Batman comic book of all time. But I mean, what's even cooler with this is that they literally put both of them together. And it's literally, I kid you not, it is almost 3 hours. I mean, just a 3-hour Batman animated film, that's just awesome. Dark Knight Returns was basically roughly about that length at the same time. But, I mean, the animation in that movie is just awesome. I mean, it's just totally amazing. I mean, they keep getting much better and better with these movies, and I hope someday that they would do a couple series of Robin comics that I grew up reading when I was a kid, and those are like 2 of my favorite series. I don't know where they're at. They're buried somewhere, I think, out in my garage. I have no idea where they're at. So, next up, we have The Rock's latest DC film, Black Adam. Oh yeah, this movie was in what they call development hell in Hollywood for like almost 15 years. I mean, we finally got Black Adam out, and I gotta tell you, I mean, first I didn't really know, like, well, let's see how this is. Is it going to be your typical origin movie and this and that? And some of the stuff that that The Rock does in this movie, I mean, it makes him just, the ultimate anti-badass type of character that you would get to see. I mean, I'm surprised that they even got Pierce Brosnan in here to actually, portray a comic book character. I mean, what he does is, he's kind of like DC's version of Doctor Strange a little bit, but kind of similar in a few scenes here and there. But overall, I mean, just an amazing film. I mean, we got your typical, cover art, your disc art there, just basic colors, what have you. I like cover art. It's much better, and you actually get to see stuff, not just plain old stuff, but, hey, apparently we gotta save money these days. But, I mean, I just hope that they do a sequel and whatnot, but, but we all know who shows up here in the after credits sequence. Henry Cavill shows up, and everybody's just going absolutely nuts. He's finally going to be Superman again. Nope. Nope. We're going to restart all over again. I thought he was one of the best Supermans we've ever had. Plain and simple. Because it would have just been awesome to see Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill just go at it. I mean, it would have been so cool to actually see him just duke it out with Superman. But, we'll never get to see that fight. Thanks, DC. Speaking of Superman, we have probably one of the probably my favorite Superman of all time. We have Christopher Reeve in Superman, the 2-film collection with the special edition version, as well as the extended 3-hour version, which is Yeah, this movie is the 3 hour cut is basically the TV version that was aired way back in 1979, and I wasn't born then, so but I mean, thank God that DC listens sometimes to their fans as well as Warner Brothers, especially Warner Brothers. You guys listen to your fans, and they finally put the extended cut out on Blu-ray. Nonetheless, now granted, you know, hey, look, cover art that sells. But I mean, there's certain points in the extended cut that is basically just it's a little looks a little wonky by today's standards, but hey, that's the only elements that actually survive from this thing. So I'm glad that we finally have this on Blu-ray, which I have not watched the 3 hour cut. I might watch it sometime soon, but I have seen the special edition many times. And if it really wasn't for the Sulkites, them basically picking Christopher Reeve to be Superman, I mean, it's just we wouldn't have Batman, we wouldn't have anything else, as far as superhero movies go. Um, but I know a lot of people. It's hard to find, but I know in Man of Steel, Christopher Reeve does make a very like half-second cameo. It's during the Man of Steel's ending when he's fighting the gravity machine, and you can see it for just a split second. But if you go by and you freeze frame it, you can literally see Henry Cavill's face get swapped to Christopher Reeve's face as like a passing of the torch type of shot, which it's hard to see, but once you see it, you'll always be looking for it. You'll just never look at that shot the same way again, as in, there it is. But so, continuing on with Superman, we're going to go back in time to the 1950s with the old TV series with The Adventures of Superman, the 5th and 6th seasons. Now, this series stars George Reeves, because if he hadn't been Superman, we probably wouldn't have Christopher Reeve as Superman and all. But I mean, I'm surprised. I found this it was at a thrift store or something like that, and they only wanted like $1 for this. And mind you, it it's still wrapped, brand new, completely brand new, and I've got like seasons 1 and 3 and 4, but I don't have season 2 yet. That's the only one I can't seem to track down. Other than that, I've got most of the show, and I've always wanted to watch the original series and kind of see, how Superman has kind of evolved over the years. I mean, it's just kind of cool seeing the fact that they have this out for people who were never, growing up with this show can actually see kind of where your superhero origins kind of came from and whatnot. Up next, we have the latest season in the DC Universe series entitled The Flash, Season 8. Now, I have not really paid attention to this show as much as I probably should. But, I mean, eventually I will sit down and I'll watch all 8 seasons, because I know there could be a lot of possibilities where Grant Gustin may end up showing up maybe in a future DC movie. I hope he does, because I know they've had several crossover episodes where they've introduced other characters like the 90s Flash. John Wesley Shipp has showed up in this series, and other characters and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, season 8 I have not watched hardly at all, because like I said, I am so far behind this show, and I really need to get on that. I mean, it's just kind of one of those shows that either you caught on to it when it was on, or you really didn't. So, up next, we have, unfortunately, the only season of this show, which is, just kind of sad. Because I hate it when they put out shows that are only one season, and that's nowhere near enough time to get, to have character development. So, but probably the two coolest things about this series was that it was produced by horror director James Wan and starring Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th reboot, Derek Mears in Swamp Thing, the complete series. Now, I have not actually watched this yet, but from what I hear, that it's pretty sad that whoever produced this series, that they wanted to cancel it literally right after, 2 episodes had aired. I'm like, why? You're not even gonna let your whole show be seen? Are you crazy? Yeah, well, fortunately, studios, they don't put in a whole lot of faith in shows if they don't get audience numbers right away. And I'm like, let your stuff be seen, then let people figure it out if they like it or not. But, I mean, we've got, 2 discs full of pretty cool stuff. I mean, hey, look at that. We got art. We got disc art we like. And not only that, it's not the same disc art. But, there's only I believe there's only, there's only 10 episodes, which is sad. I mean, it's just, I have not watched this, but I heard that it is actually an amazing, amazing series. And, too bad it was only short-lived. Because I wanted to watch the TV series, and I know I've been trying to track down the original Wes Craven film from '82, and it's just hard to find where I'm at. It's just very, very hard to find. Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on what I can manage to find. But anyways, so lastly, this is not a DC film, but it's more of like an independent, I guess you could call it, independent, movie, even though it's just a bonus reacquisition for a movie that I had sold many moons ago, because I'm like, well, I'm just going to upgrade to Blu-ray and I'll just sell the DVD because I don't need it. How stupid am I? How stupid am I? I mean, like, come on, this actually has collectible packaging, and it even has something that you just don't get with the Blu-ray. What am I talking about? I am talking about Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller's probably coolest movie that they've ever done. We have Sin City, the extended cut on DVD. Yeah. Now, this is the extended cut, which came out a few years, I think it was about a year or so after after it originally was released. And, just, you gotta love the packaging on this thing. I mean, it's just awesome. But probably the coolest thing that they have, as far as this goes, is it's the sleeve there from the all that contains all of the extra content and all the bonus features that were on this thing and whatnot. And also, the coolest thing that they have on this thing is a miniaturized version of the first comic in the 7-book series, The Hard Goodbye, which is actually the first one in the series. I mean, this movie was just amazing when it came out. I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I remember buying the original DVD for like $1 at Walmart, because I had I think I had a gift card, and it only had so many, it only had so much amount on there, and it turns out that that all I had to pay literally was $1, and that was probably one of the coolest dollars I've ever spent for a really cool and awesome movie. And I know they've done the sequel. I really wish that they would get the third one made, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, yeah. Well, that's it for this video, so please stay tuned for more upcoming Blu-ray and DVD updates. Please like and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. See ya.